So let's bring ourselves seated on our mats. Get layers off because it's very warm. And just come seated and then bring yourself back onto your forearms or onto your back. So we're going to bring our knees, our feet together, and we're going to take a little rock from side to side. And as you do so, I want you to think about your eyes looking forwards, the crown of your head lifting, and those forearms staying really strong. If you've got your spine settled on the mat, think about placing as much of the back of your t-shirt softly on the mat as you can. Let's rock very gently from side to side, and then let's bring it back to center. Let's just pick up one foot, send it all the way up to the ceiling so your knees stay stuck together. Pick up the other foot, just extend that leg. We're going to extend the leg, draw the toes towards the nose, extend the leg, and fold it back down. Pick it up, toes to nose, release, and pop it back down. Keep those shoulders really strong. Keep the eyes looking forwards. Chin should be soft, neck should be soft, crown of the head lifted. So we pick up, toes to nose, release away, and float it back down. Let's just do one more each side. Pick it up, toes to nose, release away, and float it back down. And last one, pick up, toes to nose, away, and release down. Just fold one knee out. So you're showing the sole of the foot to the inside edge of the other knee. Fold it out, bring it back in. Fold it out, bring it back in. Fold it out. One last one to each side. Fold out, release it back, fold out, release it back. Take your feet so they're hip width apart and just find that single leg circle. So begin to release into the hip joint and take it back the other way. Circle it back the other way. Bring your foot to the floor, pick up the other foot and circle out of the hip. Beautiful. Keep those shoulders strong, keep the crown of the head lifted and circle back the other way. Let's bring ourselves all the way up to seated. Take your hands to the front of your legs and begin to slide down your legs, reach all the way past your feet with the crown of your head. Slide it down. Very easy movement. Bring it all the way back up. As you come back up, think about pushing very gently into your legs to find that length through spine, and then begin to fold it down. Let's take a deep breath in at the top. Let's exhale. Reach it away, and then slowly inhale and bring it all the way back up. Let's do two more. Round it down. Inhale it all the way back up. Cross your hands, fingers to shoulders. Take a little twist back through center. Twist back through center. And twist. And twist. One more to each side. Again, let's think about that breath. So we're going to do one more. Inhale it through center. Exhale, twist it away. Inhale through center. And exhale, twist away. Fingertip touch to the floor. Bring the arm up and over. Can you keep your ear on your arm? So you don't let your neck go. We're going to come up and over. Ear to arm as you come up and over. Let's go again. Ear to arm. Up and over. And up and over. Let's add a little circle. So we're going to come up and over, and then fold the shoulder forwards past the feet, bring the hands back to the floor. Come up and over. Circle it out. Big inhale all the way up, and then exhale it out. Inhale. Exhale. One more each side. Inhale it up and exhale it round. Inhale it up. Exhale it round. Fingertip touch to the floor. Take one ear to the shoulder. Roll your chin across your sternum and take the other ear to hover over the other shoulder. Let's go again. Try not to tip the chin up in the air at the end. Your nose should be pointing forwards, not to the ceiling. Just roll it through. One more time to each side. And then we're going to take a little shoulder roll, and we're going to take another little fold, but this time we're going to take hold of our ankles or our feet or even our thighs and just draw the chest down towards the thighs. Let your head go, give it a little shake out. Soften through the shoulders, soften through that lower back. Let's breathe. Okay? Bring yourself to seated with your legs long, the inside seams of your leggings hugging together, and your arms at shoulder height. Okay? Soften the head of the arm bone against the wall behind you. Lift through the crown of the head. Let's find our breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's inhale it in. And then exhale. Drift the arm that's nearest your screen out. Got a little spine twist going on. We're going to inhale it back to center. We're going to exhale. Drift the arm out. Exhale it back to center. Now we're going to come into a roll down. We're going to inhale it down. And exhale all the way back up. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Open. Inhale it back in. Open. Inhale it back in. If you want a little more, you're going to draw your toes towards your nose as you roll down towards your waistband. We're going to keep that connection. You're going to exhale it all the way back up. Take a deep breath in, long through spine. Let's exhale. Rotate. Beautiful. Inhale, bring it back in. Exhale, rotate it out. Inhale, bring it back in. Inhale. Towards the waistband. Soft through those shoulders. Exhale, pick it all the way up. Take a deep breath in. Let's open. Back through center. Back through center. Breathe in, roll down to the waistband. We've got one last set to do. Keep that connection. Inside seam of the leggings, hugging together. Lift through the crown of the head. Float wide. You've got the whole of your spine connected with a pole. We're going to twist around that pole. Let's come back through center. Let's inhale it all the way down. And exhale it back up. We're going to separate the legs so they touch the outside edges of your mat. We're going to float our arms up to shoulder height. Remember to take a break if you need to. We're going to exhale, rotate, coming into saw. Hand can either come to the floor, little finger to little toe, crown of the head reaches over the middle toe. We inhale it back up. We exhale. We inhale it back up. The arms are at shoulder height. We're going to round down through the back of the neck. We're coming into a spine stretch. So back of the neck, rib cage to pelvis, and then right down into that tailbone. We're going long this morning. We're going to inhale in our fold, and then we exhale. Come all the way back up. So we bring ourselves back against the wall. Inhale, open those arms. Exhale, twist, reach. One pulse. Inhale it up. Exhale, rotate. Inhale it up. The arms come to shoulder height. The head of the arm bone is soft. We round down through the back of the neck. We exhale. Reach the crown of the head and the fingers towards the wall in front of you as though you've got elastic attached to them and you're being drawn forwards. Take a deep breath in and then pull that elastic back. Start to extend all the way up. We're going to take our saw in the opposite direction first. So we're going to exhale, rotate, either hand to floor or it reaches long. Remember, your pelvis is anchored to the floor. So don't let those sits bones lift. Rotate it. Awesome. Inhale it up. The arms come forwards. We draw chin down towards the sternum, but it doesn't touch. There's an orange under our chin. We exhale. We reach away. We've got one last set to do. We're going to inhale. Bring it all the way up. So the crown of the head lifts. The head of the arm bone comes back. We open. Rotate away from the screen. Inhale it back up. Lift. Exhale. Rotate. Inhale it back up. The arms come forwards. Draw chin down towards the sternum and reach. Come all the way back up. Head of the arm bone softens against the wall. Bring your legs together. Make sure there's enough space on your mat to roll down. You're going to tuck your tailbone under, hands down if you need to. Just roll down. Let's find full body stretch momentarily. And then let's float the arms up to the ceiling. Bring the head of the arm bone down to the mat. Separate your legs so they're hip width apart. We're going to go into shoulder stabilization, but we're going to add some leg lifts, okay? So come with me, I'm going to build on it. We're going to take an inhale here. As we exhale, we're going to pick up our fingers, send them up towards the ceiling. Inhale, draw back down, scoop the leg that's nearest to you towards your bum. Pick it up, reach it for the ceiling, the arms stay still, and then we're going to reach that leg away from us. Stay balanced in the pelvis. Other leg scoops in. We pick it up, we send it up to the ceiling. Reach the toes for the wall in front of you, so you lengthen out of the hip joint. We come back into our shoulder stabilization, but this time we're going to pick up our ponytail and as much of the back of our t-shirt as we can. There's our exhale. Inhale it back down. So straight leg lift or scoop it in. Exhale, pick it up. Inhale, reach it away. Exhale, pick it up. Inhale, reach it away. Fingertips, reach for the ceiling on your next exhale. Ponytail back of the t-shirt. The eyes look forwards. You're extending through the back of your neck. Inhale, draw it back down. Let's exhale. Pick up that leg that's nearest the screen. Inhale, float it back down. Leg two. Pick it up. Inhale, float it back down. We're going to do 3 more sets. So we're going to pick up. Lengthen between the shoulder blades. Soften. Head of the arm bone softens back down to the mat. We pick up one leg. We release it. We're going to get as much length through the back of the knee as we can. And those toes are going to touch the ceiling. Reach it away. Pick it up as you exhale. Inhale. Think about lengthening the crown of the head to the top end of your mat as you bring it back down. Let's raise that first leg. Float it back down. Pelvis stays balanced. Don't allow the pelvis to sink. It's like a block of concrete. It's really, really stable. We're going to pick up into our shoulder stabilization. Really sit back down. Pick up one. Lengthen it away. How long can your front body be? Lengthen it away. Last set. Pick it up. Did I say we were doing combinations today? Woo! Pick up that leg. Really sit back down. Some of them will be more fun than others. Pick it up. Really sit back down. Turn your palms away and bring them wide of your mat. So they're down in a V. Walk your feet in, 1, 2. Pick up your feet, bring your knees over your belly. Alternatively, leave them on the floor, okay? We're going to start off in trunk rotation. So we're going to pick up the hip that's nearest the screen and take the knees away from the screen. We're going to leave both shoulders on the floor. Come back through center. Rotate. So there's our trunk rotation. Now we're going into a hip circle. So we're going to pick up the hip that's nearest the screen, but this time we push our knees and our feet away from us and we draw a circle in the air, bringing our knees back over our belly. We're going to circle in the opposite direction. So pick up the hip that's away from the screen, take your knees towards the screen, circle round and bring it back in. We're back into trunk rotation. So we pick up the screen hip, we rotate, the shoulders stay still. Come back through center. Remember, you can make this as small or as big as you like. Come back through center. Screen hip lifts, but we come into our hip circle. We might even straighten our legs to the bottom of the circle and even to the top of the circle if we want to. So it can be very diddy, or it can be quite big and quite hard work. It's quite hard work anyway. Screen hip, trunk rotation. Back through center. Trunk rotation. Back through center. Hip circle. Back to center. Hip circle it out the other way. I think we should do 2 more sets. What do you think? I can't hear you. Rotate. Awesome. Bring it back to center. Rotate it again. Bring it back to center. Hip circle. Shoulders stay down. You should be using your arms to anchor your shoulder girdle to the mat. That's the base of your bridge. Let's go. One last one. Trunk rotate. Trunk rotate. Back to center into your hip circle. You can do this. You've got one last one to do. Knees to screen. Circle it away. Bring it back to center. Let's take our hands to our shins. Ooh, let's take our eyebrows to our shins. And then let's find full body stretch. So legs go long, arms reach overhead. Take a moment there. Stretch the fingers. The top end of your mat, stretch your toes to the wall away from you. Then float your arms overhead. We're going to bring our arms down by our sides. We're going to walk our feet in, so our feet are hip width apart. So we're going to curl up, and we're going to shoulder bridge now. We're going to pick up our ponytail, our arms, and we're going to reach past our shins with our fingertips. And then we float all the way back down. You're going to pick up your tailbone now, and then begin to pick up the back of your t-shirt to the waistband, all the way up through your rib cage until you come into bridge. We're going to take a deep breath in at the top. And then we're going to exhale, lengthen the tailbone away, keep the waistband lifted. So roll down through the back of your rib cage. Think about your big toe, little toe heel. Am I pressing harder into one foot than the other? Reach that tailbone away. Pick up your ponytail, your arms. There's your exhale. Inhale it away, but as you inhale away, you're tucking your tailbone under, and we're going to float all the way up into our bridge. No creases in the front of the leggings. We've got our rib cage tucked down. We're going to take a deep breath in at the top. Now exhale it down. Release. We're going to add a little bit if we want to. So as you pick up the back of your ponytail, you're going to come onto the tips of your toes and just float those toes a millimetre off the floor. We're going to lengthen toes, heels, crown of the head away. We're going to tuck our tailbone under. We're going to roll up through spine. As we come up into our bridge, or as we find our bridge, we're going to lift both heels and come up onto the balls of our feet. Bring those heels back down, rolling through the sole of your feet. Roll down through spine, lengthening the tailbone away, keeping the waist off the mat for as long as possible and then letting it melt, and the tailbone reaches away. We're going to pick up our ponytail, our arms, our heels, our toes. Inhale it down and then begin to pick up your tailbone on the tail of that inhale. We reach up as we exhale. We're going to raise our heels. We're going to release our heels. We're going to exhale and roll down through spine. Let's just do 2 more. So head, shoulders, back of the t-shirt, heels, toes, all lift off the mat. Toes down, heels, arms, tailbone begins to lift. Heel up, Lengthen that front body all the way up to the sky. No creases in the front of the leggings. Reach the fingertips away. Pick up your heels. Heels come back down. And we begin to melt down through spine. Last set. Waist stays off the mat. Tailbone reaches away. Head, shoulders, back of the t-shirt, heels, toes. Lengthen down, place those feet. Tailbone tucks under. Let's come all the way up into our bridge. Lift both heels. Roll down through the soles of the feet. Keep that pelvis quiet. And let the rib cage mat down into the mat. Awesome. Reach the tailbone away. Let's bring our knees into our belly. Take a little rock from side to side. And then we're going to roll onto our side body. So you're going to turn the palm of your lower hand down. Your knees are stacked. Your hips are stacked. Let's take that top hand and just place it in front of the shoulder. But this shoulder's really soft. It's not up by our ears. And remember, if you can't lie on your arm, put a cushion or something underneath and find somewhere comfortable for your shoulders. So we're coming into lateral hip flexion. We've got our knees in front of us, our heels in line with our bum, and as much of the back of the t-shirt, ponytail, arm, touching an imaginary wall behind us. We're not going to punch through that wall as we pick up the knee, but leave the big toe on the big toe. Now we're going to pick up the big toe and leave the knee on the knee. Now we're going to float the leg up in the air. We're going to float that knee down to the floor in front of the other knee, and then we're going to float the toes behind the toes of the lower leg. We bring it back up in the air and we float it back down into lateral hip flexion. Ooh, we're having to concentrate. I am. Pick it up, release it down. Internal rotation, squeeze, release it back down. Pick it up, up, up. Turn the knee down to the floor, the foot's as high as possible. Turn the knee up to the ceiling and touch your toes behind your toes. Float your knee over your knee, your foot over your foot, and float it back down. Lateral hip flexion, are you all with me? Thumbs up, release it down, internal rotation. Pick up the foot, squeeze, awesome. We're going to pick up the knee and the foot, but the knee hovers over the knee and the foot over the foot until we come into our forward twist. Twist it out the other way. Twist it back to center, knee over knee, foot over foot. Let's do 2 more sets. Now we're all together. Open, lateral hip flexion, internal rotation. Release down, pick it up, up, up. Turn the knee down to the floor, the foot up to the ceiling. Toes down. Pick it up, really sit back down. Little pretzel on a Wednesday morning. That hand comes in, head to floor. Take the top arm up to the ceiling and maybe drop it out behind you or take hold of that lower foot and come into deep stretch. Ooh. Let's release that lower leg. Let's bring knee on knee, foot on foot. So you can either choose to stay here. We're going to do some work in side bend now. Or we're going to come up onto our forearm. But whatever we do, we're going to do the same thing with our top arm and leg, whether we're elevated or on the floor. If you're on the floor, you're going to bring your top arm forwards, okay? So, actually, should we all start on the floor and then we know where we are? The top leg stretches away. We're going to take the arm and leg up to the ceiling. We're going to release it down. And then we're going to rotate. Okay, fingertip to fingertip. Arm and leg up to the ceiling. Release it down. Rotate. But we're not all going to stay there. Some of us are. Otherwise, you're going to come up with your elbow under your shoulder. You're going to pick up your pelvis. The arm and leg come up and over. The top arm goes up to the ceiling and we rotate. So we can choose now whether we bring the pelvis back down or whether we stay up there. we're going to open. Don't let that head drop. So keep connection between the ear and the arm. Sorry, the arm goes up to the ceiling. We rotate. We come all the way back up. Leg and arm. Release. Rotate it. Come all the way back up. Leg and arm. Release. Rotate. Think one more. Let's open it out. Close it in. Rotate. Bring the arm back up. Drop the hip down. Slide the bottom leg forwards and the top leg back. And you're going to turn towards that back leg and twist your shoulders so they're parallel with your shin and just drop your head in. We got side 2 to do now. Let's take one more little hip stretch while we're here. So our shoulders are between our knees. Our hands come forwards either onto your shin or your foot, and you fold down. Release. Okay. We're going to go the other side. So beautiful shimmy over to the other side. Arm to floor. Top hand in front of your shoulder. It's soft, that shoulder. We've got our knees stacked, our hips stacked. Our feet or our toes are in line with our bottom. Lateral hip flexion. Squeeze it up. Release it back down. Internal rotation. Release it back down. Pick up that top leg. Turn the knee down to the floor, the foot up to the ceiling. The toes come down behind the toes. We float it back up. We release it. So externally rotate. Release down. Pelvis stays still. Internally rotate. Release it down. Open it up. Turn it down again. There's internal rotation one more time and external rotation. Bring it back up. Hover knee over knee. Float the knee onto the knee. Foot onto foot. Open. Release. Twist in. Release it. Remember that t-shirt is staying against the wall behind you. Don't let your rib cage pop out. There's a little bit of movement here in the pelvis as we pick the knee up. Really sit back down. We've got external rotation. We've got internal. I've lost count. I think we'll do one more after this. She says, hopefully, that's it. Pick it up. Really sit back down. Pick it up in the air, float it back down. Last set. Open it out. That top hip's beginning to sing. Lift the foot. Fantastic. Pick it up. Bring your knee down in front of you. Roll it round. Ball in socket. Open it out. Toes to floor. Lift up. And really sit back down. Lower arm comes under the top leg and just draws it in. And then that top arm goes up to the ceiling. We drop it out behind us. And if we want to, we take hold of that lower foot and bring ourselves into a beautiful pretzel. So we started off on our side with our arm out, our head to the floor. We're going to float the top arm and the top leg up and bring it back in. That top arm stays up. We bring hand to hand and we float it forwards. I lost my mojo there for a minute. Float the arm up to the ceiling. Reach the leg long. Bring it back over the shoulder. Hand comes to hand and we rotate. So some of us are staying here if our shoulders don't like being up here. Otherwise, we're here. We've got a straight line from armpit to hip. We're going to pick up. The arm comes back to the ceiling, the knee comes back on the knee, and we thread the needle. Take it back up to the ceiling. The pelvis can come down in between if you want to. The arm up to the ceiling. Don't let the head drop away. So as you come into your extension, bring your ear to your arm. Don't let that head drop. Bring it up. Rotate it. We're going to do 3 more. The arm comes to the ceiling. We extend away. We bring the arm to the ceiling. And then we float it down and round. Or we're reaching for the screen. We've got rotation going on. 2. Last one. Pick it up. Keep that waist lifted. Reach it long. Bring it up to the ceiling. Rotate. Awesome. Bring the pelvis to the mat. Slide your bottom leg forwards, your top leg back, and turn towards that back shin. Can you square your shoulders on to the bottom end of your mat? And then bring yourself, your hands in front of you. See if you can keep your shoulders between your knees as you fold yourself down. Awesome. Guess where we're going now? Onto our bellies. Yeehaw. Let's bring our hands so our thumbs are in line with our ears. Our elbows should be soft and down, and the crown of our heads are reaching away. Those legs are hugging together. We're going to start off with the bottom end. So you've got a choice now whether you take your legs hip width and work with one leg at a time, pull the toes towards the nose, reach away and down, or we're going to lift both legs. So you're either choosing one leg. If you're using both legs, they're going to be hugging together. You're going to lift them up, draw your toes towards your nose, push them away, and then release them back down. Let's go again. So second leg, pick up, toes to nose or both legs. Toes away and release back down. Let's bring ourselves into our swan dive. The nose scoots forwards. The ponytail begins to pick up. Think about lifting your ponytail, but think about peeling your front body away from the mat. We inhale, we reach it away. Crown of the head reaches the top end of the mat. We're going to exhale, pick up our legs, soften your shoulders, toes to nose, toes away, and float it back down. We need to do another one in case we're working with two legs. Pick up, toes to nose, release away, woo, bring it back down into our swan dive. Nose comes forward, the forehead begins to peel away from the mat. Push down into the heel of your hands and peel your front body. Lift the front of your waistband. Inhale it back down. Soften the elbows, soften the shoulders. Pick up either leg one or two legs. Toes to nose. Toes away. And really sit down. Number 2, pick it up. Toes to nose. Toes away. Really sit down. Ponytail. Ooh. Into our swan dive. We're going to do one last set. Reach it away. Stay with it if you can. Elbows to floor. Shoulders soften. Those legs pick up. You draw toes to nose. Toes away. And really sit back down. Second set or second leg. Pick it up. Toes to nose. Toes away. Release back down. Last one dive here. Woo, let's pick it up. The front of the t-shirt. Crown of the head lifts to the ceiling. Release it all the way back down. Hands under shoulders. Let's come up onto hands and knees. And let's bring ourselves into cat. So you're going to draw your belly button in towards your backbone. Tuck your tailbone all the way under. Push the floor away with the heel of your hands. And let your head drop down so you're looking back between your knees. And then release it very gently out. We've just been in extension, so we don't need to work too hard here. Let's tuck that tailbone all the way under again. Round up. All the way up through spine. Crown of the head softens down to the floor. Push the floor away with the heel of your hands. If you're happy here, you're going to stay here. Otherwise, bring yourself back onto your belly with your arms wherever they need to be for you and your legs hip width apart. Heel of the hands under the shoulders. We are going to go opposite arm, opposite leg. We're coming into swimming. We reach away. Remember that imaginary shelf. We're going to tap the shelf with our heel and with our watch strap. Bring it back in. Exhale. Reach away the other side. Tap the shelf. If you're lying on your belly, I now want you to pull your belly button away from the mat. If you're on your hands and knees, you're going to tuck your toes under and just float a credit card under your knees. We're going to release it back down. Toes, reach away, opposite arm, opposite leg. We're still through the shoulder girdle, we're still through the pelvis. The head stays very still. It's just that opposite limb that reaches away. As you come in, the toes tuck under, or you draw your belly button up towards your backbone, you float your knees, just a credit card. Release it back down. Opposite arm, opposite leg. We've got 2 more sets. Reach. Hand comes in under the shoulder, knee under the pelvis. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Reach it away. Hand comes in under the shoulder. We tuck the toes under. We float those knees off the mat, but we're going to hold here for a little moment. We might take 1 more big circle of breath. Inhale, exhale. Remember, draw your belly button in towards your backbone. Keep your t-shirt against the imaginary shelf. Release those knees. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Release it back under. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Release it under. Toes tuck under. We just pick up the knees. Push the floor away with the heel of your hands so your shoulders are really strong. And then very gently release those knees down to the mat. Sit back. Towards your heels, wrap your arms around your legs and soften between the shoulder blades. You might want to take a little rock of the pelvis from side to side. And then we're going to come seated. So if you can do, get there with no hands. Maybe cross your legs, sit over your feet. Hear them crunch as you do. We're going to roll like a ball. And we're going to come into 100 too. But again, it's not going to be 100 in one go. So sit all the way up, long through spine, and then very gently roll back towards your tailbone. You've got your hands on your hamstrings for now. We're going to roll down through spine, let the feet drag towards you. Pick them up, throw them back, and then throw them away. Bring yourself up to seated. Let's roll down through spine. Into our rolling like a ball. This time we're going to roll down through spine very slowly. We're going to pick up our feet and we're going to float our arms. You could have long legs. We're going to take 2 circles of breath. Inhale, exhale. Turn the hands up. Inhale, exhale. Draw your knees in towards your belly. Roll like a ball. So you could have hands on shins, hands on feet, eyebrows to knees. You take a full rolling like a ball. We're going to roll down with control, kind of, and bring ourselves into our 20. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Knees come in, roll all the way up. Roll like a ball. Roll down, ooh, with control. Come out into your 100, wherever it is. 2 circles of breath. Knees come in, we roll ourselves up. We roll ourselves back down and back up. And then with control, and take my hands on my hamstrings this time. We roll ourselves down and we come into 100. I think that was a little bit more beautiful. Not much. And up. Last one. Hands to feet. Hands to shins, roll like a ball, come up into your balance if it's there for you, and then roll down through spine into your last 20, 2 circles of breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Let's draw those knees into our belly. Let the crown of the head reach away. Take a little rock out from side to side. Place the foot that's away from the screen on the floor and slide it long along the mat. Let's take that other leg up to the ceiling. You can climb up the back of the leg towards the ceiling, towards your foot. Pick up your head and shoulders and just reach long through those hamstrings. And then walk your hand back up your leg, bring your knee in towards your rib cage and your eyebrow to your knee. Let's release that head to the floor. Release your screen foot to the floor and reach it away. Walk the other leg in. Reach it up to the ceiling and start walking up the back of your leg towards your foot. Or down the back of your leg, I should say. Up towards the ceiling. We're going to pick up the ponytail. Then walk up your leg towards the floor. Doesn't seem to make sense. 2 hands on the shin. Let's draw the knee in towards the rib cage. And the eyebrow to the knee. And then let's very, very gently bring our heads to the floor. We kind of know where we want to go now. So maybe soles of the feet. Maybe the arms wrap around the head. Maybe hands to the belly. Stretch those legs away, but just begin to go heavy. You can allow your spine to be quiet, your shoulders to quieten down, your pelvis to settle where it wants to be, your hips to soften. And you may need to take a little rock from ear to ear to focus on letting those shoulders and that neck go. And you soften your eyes behind your eyelids. Soften your ears down towards the mat. Let the back of your head be supported by the mat underneath it. Let's let go of our breath. Let it come and go as it wants to. If you found a quiet little place there, just reach over and switch off that screen. Otherwise, we're very gently going to float our arms wide of our body and pop the soles of our feet on the floor. So we softly connect the inside edges of our legs. And then we're going to take the knees one way and the head in the opposite direction. Gently come back through center and rotate it out the other way. Let's bring it back through center. Soft rotation. Just let it go. Let your body be soft. So the next time your knees go towards the screen, maybe bring your shoulders over towards the screen and tuck that hand underneath your head and just roll yourself onto your side body. Maybe bring your knees in. Let your eyes close again. Hopefully a quiet little place. And then very, very gently, if you want to, you're going to let your eyes open. Otherwise, by all means, switch me off. Bring yourself all the way up to seated. We're going to take our hands to the mat. We're going to just lengthen very gently up through spine. Take a deep breath in. Connect your fingertips overhead and then turn your fingers away from you. Your palms away from you and exhale it out. So we're going to inhale. Palms up, fingertips connect, and exhale. Really sit back down. Let's do one more. Let's inhale it all the way up, as though you're being pulled and lengthened from the tip of your fingers all the way up to the ceiling. And then just really sit down, but keep that beautiful length through spine. Big shoulder roll.